Good morning, everybody. So it's Sunday, May 12th, 2019. My name's Justin Woodward, and I'll be your host. Give me 1 second. So I wanted to explain something real quick. I did a live video. Quitting smoking. Got that phone coming. About this millionaire booklet gave me a concept of who's got my money, right? And he's talking about, quit spending time with people who ain't got your money. And an example is Grant Cardone used to go to lunch with his coworker Gene, and one of these rich guys that he was selling stuff to, or that would come into his office a lot, took him under his wing, pulled him aside, and said, "Hey, why do you spend an hour every day at lunch with Gene? Gene's never gonna buy from you. He's never gonna buy something from himself." And he's like, how much time do you spend a year with Gene? And he added it up, 360 days out of the year, he goes to lunch with Gene, every day for an hour. That's 360 hours or something. That's crazy. For something that's never going to buy anything from you. And then it goes back into the concept, if you're hanging around and spending time with people who aren't going to help you get where you want to get, or they're not going to buy from you, and you have a goal to sell stuff, then you're wasting your time. And the message was, so is this a book that's going to help me make money? It's not just a scam. I've heard people say, Think and Grow Rich is a scam. I've heard people say the Tay Lopez program was a scam, that all the training, courses that I've done are a scam. And it's like, well, I guess if you're going into it with the mindset that you're just going to watch this video, you're going to sign up for a program, or you're going to read a book and you're automatically going to become like super fucking rich, then yeah, it's a scam, because you're only scamming yourself. All this stuff, that the programs, the books, the training and all that, are tools to use to implement in your daily life to help you acquire the skills to get where you want to get, right? In P.T. Barnum's The Art of Money Getting, he gives a really good example about the individual who's got a ton of money and the individual who wants the ton of money like this guy, right? And he says you don't have to have everything or anything like that. You just have to act as well as the man who's got what you want. So, if you're sleeping in until 10 o'clock in the morning, if you're being late to appointments, if you're not showing up with 100%, 120% attitude to service somebody, then yeah, it's a scam. You're scamming yourself. Like, from my experience, I started implementing the millions over the phone. Actually, I'll tell you right now, I've been reading books for a long time. I read 10X Theory, or the 10X Rule, implemented a strategy for a morning routine where I was getting up at 4:30, running, doing yoga, meditating for an hour, or not an hour, 15 minutes, reading for an hour, and then I would begin my work day. I would start building funnels, I would start putting content out on the internet, I'd start studying more. And then I was like, after reading 10X there, I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to be a freight broker for years, since 2012. Why am I not there yet? So I hustled up a detail. Well, actually what I did was I used Robert Collier's theory that if you're lacking something in your life, give away something. And, you'll get something in return, because you can only get what you give. So I called up my buddy. I said, "Hey, yo, I know your truck's really bad. Why don't you let me detail the interior of it? Give a free service. You can throw, some cloud on the tube, or throw it on the book. See what happens." Well, while I was detailing his car, I got a call from a lady. She said, "Hey, I got puke in my back seat. Can you get it out? You use a steamer." Well, I don't have a steamer, but my methods and my process are guaranteed to make your back seat look near brand new. So she came over. I only charged her $45. I undercut myself like a mother. So She did it, came over while I was detailing his car. I hurried up and knocked her stuff out in about 30 minutes. She swiped it on the card. And I didn't have no money. I was completely broke, you know what I mean? Union ain't been working me, all this other stuff, whatever. Everybody wants to say it's an excuse, but you know, it's a fact. They didn't call me to go work, so I ain't making no money. So I'm doing something else to get my money. And she swiped it on the card. Well, a lot of the freight broker training programs are $99, $1,200, $700, $1,500, $2,900. You know, they're quite pricey. This one that I got, it was on Udemy. It was $10.99. Did my research, looked at all the reviews, reached out to a few people who had completed it. You know, none of them were freight brokering, but I'm like, okay, well, I'm a little different than you because I'm actually going to apply other tactics that I know and principles and stuff, and I'm going to get it. I got that program on a Thursday night. I dominated it, was done with it by Saturday. Sunday, I built a database of 227 shippers. You know, Monday's coming. Our bills are all late. You know, about to get evicted. We're up for disconnect on the electric, the heat. My cell phone's off. Our car's up for repo. You know, all these little nuances that are coming. And my brain was like, man, just go get a motherfucking job. Go get it. It's $12 an hour. You get your check. You know, you'll be getting by. You just be getting by. And then my higher brain was like, bro, fuck that shit. Because if you go work that dumbass job, you're going to be around people you don't want to be around. You're going to be around poor people that have poor attitudes. And that's, you know, people who don't have money aren't necessarily poor. It's their attitude that makes them poor. So I said, fuck that, man. You better hit it with the 10X. Start emailing people. Start selling yourself. You better get in front of the people who got your money. I didn't know about the who's got my money theory. I just knew that, hey, it only works if you work it. So I started calling, started emailing. I sent out a ton of emails. Every one of them said, if you ain't got no experience, don't waste my time. I don't want you. We ain't working with you, you know, whatever. So I said, all right, that's cool. Quit emailing people. And I started picking up the phone and calling them because I know that I can get to know somebody a lot better with my voice and talking to them and actually communicating with them so I can understand where they're coming from and create that currency, right? So there's not a stop and there's a flow. There's an even flow. I called, I don't know, 2 people. They were kind of rude and kind of laughing at me. And then I called, you know, West UA Brokerage and the ad on the Craigslist. And I said, yeah. So I'm going to be straight up with you, man. I've never been a freight broker, but I've been interested in the field. I dominated this thing. I got a database of shippers. I'm ready to come in and apply my sales knowledge from previous experience in this field. And this is the only field that I can see myself getting to my financial goals. What do you say? He said, why don't you come in tomorrow at 11:30 and we'll talk about it. Went in the next day at 11:30. Boom. That was a Monday I called him. Tuesday I went in my interview at 11:30. Wednesday I was in there at 9 o'clock brokering freight. Now did I make $1 million, $1,000 overnight? No. That was April 9th. And, you know, I didn't know it. My first commission check was for like a couple loads I moved at 5%. So I got like $197 for the month. That ain't shit, right? That ain't nothing. Well, after applying the principles, doing the motions, calling my shippers, building my network, you know, establishing myself in the industry and building solid relationships, that was in April. This is May now, and I can pull up my accounting through my TMS and look at my money. And it's the exact kind of money that I had the idea of earning. And my friends know what kind of money that is. Anybody else who I'm not really like close with, you don't know, but it's looking at, you know, it's looking at a pretty penny. So, yeah, it does work if you work it. You know, alcoholics can stay alcoholics, but the AA helped them out, right? Because what did they do? They worked the motherfucking system. How did Henry Ford get rich? He get lucky? If y'all ain't ever studied Henry Ford, man, I can tell you right now, he wasn't lucky because he had everybody and their mama coming after him. The federal government was trying to get his ass. The IRS was trying to get his ass. All the bankers were trying to take everything he had. You know what I mean? There was one, it might have been 1939. I got to get the information, like get my numbers right on it, because I studied it when I was in Georgia last year. And so Henry Ford, one year, he was in debt $9 million. And the bankers, the people we owed money to, came to him and said, hey, look, you got like 8 months, 9 months to get us this money. We're coming in taking it all. They wanted Toto, you know, go back to the Wizard of Oz story, the Yellow Brick Road and shit. And instead of giving up in defeat and not doing anything, he made a decision, came up with a strategy. And the strategy was, he called all his dealership. He said, hey, what you're going to do is you're going to sell all them cars at half off. And we need cash. You're going to sell them at half price, and you're only going to take cash. And then the next time you want cars from me, instead of getting a 120, a net 120 or a net 90, whatever they were doing then, you're going to pay cash on the invoice. So Henry Ford went from being in $9 million of debt back in the 30s, which is like billions of dollars now, to 9 months, he sold everything he had in inventory and had a surplus of $42 million. Did he get lucky? Nah, he didn't fucking get lucky, man. So when everybody asks me, does this really work? Is it a scam? You got lucky doing this, you know. What the fuck, man? Do you not know how the principles of the universe work? And you clearly don't. So for the people who message me asking me if this shit really works, I don't know. You tell me. What are you doing to make it work? If you ain't doing a goddamn thing to make it work, it ain't gonna fucking work. So that's my spiel for the day. I'll be doing the live at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. tonight. You know, it's Mother's Day. I got obligations to go meet, people to go see. And one of them individuals just so happens to have my money. So I'm looking forward to going over there, chopping it up with him, getting to know him a little better. You know, spending some time with his family. I'm probably walking away with a check. But, you know, y'all have a great day. Take care.